The moment I saw Cullum sitting there acting calm while Jason rotted away in that WSB prison, I swear, something about it immediately felt wrong to me. Not just villain wrong. Worse than that, cold. Calculated. Almost like Cullum had already accepted that his own ending was coming, so he stopped caring who got destroyed on the way there. And maybe I'm reading too much into it, but the way General Hospital has been framing him lately really makes me wonder if the show is quietly preparing us for Cullum's death sometime near the end of June. Not officially, of course. Nothing ever feels official with the show until the body actually drops. And even then, sometimes, not even then. But if you ask me, the signs are starting to pile up in a way that's hard to ignore. Especially with all these rumors floating around about Andrew Hawks potentially finishing his run behind the scenes. And honestly, it would make sense because look at what General Hospital has been doing recently. They've overloaded the canvas with villains. Sidwell, Cullum, manipulations everywhere, secret operations, murders, cover-ups. It feels like the show intentionally tipped the balance too far into darkness so they could eventually start taking pieces off the board again. That usually happens in cycles. We've seen this pattern before. A new wave of chaos comes in, then one or two dangerous players suddenly disappear in some shocking summer twist. Cullum feels like the obvious target, or maybe the intended sacrifice. And the weird thing is, the show may already be planting multiple suspects on purpose, because almost everybody suddenly has a reason to want him gone. I keep going back to Marco's death. That still hangs over everything, like this ugly stain nobody can fully wash away. Cullum killed Marco, and even though some characters don't know the entire truth yet, there's this growing sense that the walls are quietly closing in around him. The pressure feels different now. Less like a villain winning, more like a villain unknowingly walking toward the edge. Then there's Jason. Guys, I cannot stop thinking about how insane this situation actually is. Jason is trapped, blamed for shooting Cullum, while Cullum himself seemingly knows Jason is innocent. That's the part that bothers me the most. Cullum could stop this. At any moment, he could speak up. He could expose the truth, but he doesn't. Why? That silence feels intentional and, honestly, cruel. Which brings me to Britt, because I know a lot of fans are conflicted about her right now, and I am too. I really am. Because Britt also knows Jason didn't do this. She knows Rocco shot Cullum. Lulu knows. Nathan's double knows too. The truth exists. It's sitting right there. But nobody steps forward to fully clear Jason's name. I don't know. Maybe the writers are building towards some larger reveal, but emotionally it makes Britt look strangely detached. Especially considering Jason once sacrificed everything for her. He protected her. He accepted prison because of Rocco's actions. And now Jason suffers while Britt stays silent? There's something painful about that dynamic that the show hasn't fully addressed yet. Or maybe they're saving it. That's why I keep wondering if Britt accidentally becomes the catalyst for Cullum's downfall. Because I could absolutely see a scenario where Britt tells Sidwell the truth about Marco. Maybe not intentionally at first. Maybe during some emotional confrontation. Maybe out of guilt. But once Sidwell learns Cullum caused Marco's death, I honestly think Cullum's survival chances drop immediately. Sidwell does not strike me as the forgiving type. Actually, no. Let me correct that. Sidwell feels like the type who smiles right before arranging somebody's disappearance. And if Cullum dies near the docks or ends up dumped in the water somewhere, I'm telling you right now, my mind immediately goes to Sidwell. Immediately. Because we've already seen him operate like that before with Eva's death. That visual still sticks with me. The secrecy, the disposal, the almost clinical way violence follows him, If General Hospital wants to mirror that pattern, having Cullum vanish into the harbor would feel disturbingly fitting. But then again, uh, Lucas is the theory. I can't fully shake either. Maybe because it feels quieter, more personal. Lucas isn't naturally violent. That's exactly why this possibility feels so dangerous to me. Grief changes people. Watching the man responsible for your boyfriend's death continue walking around freely, that kind of pain can slowly rot somebody from the inside. And now Lucas being positioned close to Cullum medically, that feels intentional too. A poisoned injection. Simple. Clean. Nearly invisible. The show could absolutely go there. And honestly, it would devastate me a little because Lucas losing himself that way would change him forever. But I can't pretend the setup isn't there. General Hospital loves taking genuinely good people and pushing them into morally gray territory after trauma. We've watched it happen for years. Still, Valentine may be even more dangerous. Because with Valentine, revenge always comes wrapped inside strategy. He doesn't just react emotionally, he plans. And if he believes Cullum contributed to Anna's emotional collapse, I think he could justify almost anything in his own mind. I can picture it too clearly. Valentine confronting Cullum somewhere isolated. No witnesses. One sudden attack. Then Cullum's body disappearing completely before anybody even realizes he's dead. And what makes this theory more complicated is Carly, because if Carly somehow pulls Valentine into her orbit emotionally, things could spiral fast. Especially if the truth about Jocelyn's kidnapping starts surfacing publicly. Even if Cullum wasn't truly behind it, misunderstandings in Port Charles become deadly very quickly. Sometimes being blamed matters more than being guilty. That's the terrifying part. Cullum may not even die for something he actually did. He may die because enough people believe he did. And Sonny, honestly, Sonny might be the most explosive possibility of all. Because Sonny's rage over Jason has always been different. More protective. More primal almost. If Sonny discovers Cullum knowingly allowed Jason to suffer for a crime he didn't commit, I don't think Sonny would see shades of gray anymore. I think he'd see betrayal. And Sonny, reacting to betrayal, usually ends badly for someone. What keeps bothering me, though, is the timing of all this. The pacing feels suspicious. Cullum suddenly being surrounded by enemies. More references to his past actions. More tension building around Jason's imprisonment. More emotional fallout from Marco's death. It's like the show is stacking dry wood everywhere waiting for a single spark. That's usually not accidental. And if Andrew Hawks truly is leaving General Hospital, the timeline actually lines up disturbingly well. The show films ahead. So if Cullum dies on screen around late June, there's a real possibility Hawks already wrapped filming weeks ago without fans fully realizing it yet. I could be wrong. Honestly, I hope part of me is wrong because Cullum, frustrating as he is, brought a very specific kind of menace the show needed. Not loud villainy, not cartoon evil, something more manipulative, more suffocating. The kind of character who walks into a room and instantly makes everybody feel uneasy. Those villains are hard to replace, but maybe that's exactly why General Hospital wants his death to matter. Not just another murder, a chain reaction, because if Cullum dies, secrets start unraveling. Jason's case explodes open. Britt's silence becomes impossible to defend. Sidwell's darkness deepens. Lucas potentially crosses a line he can never uncross. Valentine drifts further away from redemption. Sonny risks becoming violent again. Cullum's death wouldn't end the chaos. It might actually unleash worse chaos. And maybe that's the part I can't stop thinking about tonight. The possibility that Cullum already knows this is coming. There's been something strangely reckless about him lately. almost like a man subconsciously preparing for impact. Maybe he senses enemies surrounding him. Maybe he knows too many people want him gone now. Or maybe he believes he's untouchable right up until the moment somebody finally proves he isn't. Because in Port Charles, the most dangerous moment for any villain is usually the second they stop looking over their shoulder.